All right, guys. So we've got it all working, pretty clean, right? Then we can start polishing the legs a bit more. Actually, let's go in now and do a bit. So if we go to animation, visualize, create editable motion trail. Well, let's check this trail out, man. Look. So when we get here, kind of straightens. There was a little bit of a pop there. So that's it. So we just need to polish a little bit there. Okay, that's fine. So let's check out the overall trajectory. You come here. We could even lift it here a bit, to be honest. Just to get a nice curve. I would even rotate this down a bit so it's just on the floor. Well, one thing we need to do is when it hits the floor, zero that out. In fact, we need to push it in a bit more. And then what we'll do, we'll come here. We'll just copy this to the rest of the keys because that's going to be on the floor, remaining floor, right? So it should stay flat. Yeah, you see it stays flat. And then like we get there. Let's copy that to the start so it's the same. Okay, so now you can do, you can come in one by one here and just each frame you can just try and line up as it's coming off the floor. Yeah, that's it. Okay, so we got that working, which is cool. We can do the same. So let's delete that motion trail and do the same for the other one. Just doing it as we go. This one looks all right, man. You know, maybe we could have it coming up slightly. And move this down. Yeah. But to be honest, that was all right like that. It's getting it's a bit straight there, isn't it? All right, so here we can do, let's select this. If you notice the leg there is straightening, so we might just roll it a little. And there. Yeah, that's better. Okay, so we're back around there. That's cool. Now all we're going to do now, we go to the start and we'll just bring, zero this out, man. Let's bring the x-axis down to say what, -75. And then let's bring this one down as well to -75. Okay, so we've got it all down there. Now what you notice is going to pop because we keyed. So you just need to select those. And as you can see here, you just want to delete everything in between. Delete the end frame as well. And you might as well select the hip. Select the wrists and the forearms and do the same thing. Just delete everything. Except for the first key. Select all the arm controls here. Just delete everything so it's all clean. So we're working with something clean. And the shoulders. Just clean that. Okay, so now we've got rotation in the shoulders. So what we're doing is we're just pulling these back a bit so that it rotates a bit later. Yeah, so it rotates just later, right, with the hips as well. Even the hips, now we come back here, just pulling these back, points back, so it's slightly more, it's taking a bit more time. That's fine, that feels better. And then what we do with the arm, what's this control here? This is arm gimbal, right? Okay, you can use that too. And that. Awesome. So what we'll do, we'll just do a simple forward here, which is 12. So let's do -10. And then copy that to the end. And then we come to the middle. And then we just do 10 here. And if we look at our graph editor, we'll just flatten everything and cycle. Yeah, so it's very simple here. All right, so if we look at this now, just got a simple, now what we can do is just add a little bit of rotation in the shoulders. Doesn't have to be too much. Let's say -5. Again, middle click to 25, go in the middle, and then do 5. And again, in the graph editor, we're just going to flatten everything. So we select everything, go to flatten, and make sure it's cycling, which it is. So we've got a little bit of movement. And then we can also tone down the blue axis, right? This one. So if we just come up here, select everything, go to the middle here, press R for scale, and press middle click, and just scale down. And if we look here, it's not moving as much. So we can scale that down a bit more. So we'll just scale down. And also, you know what? Let's scale down. So we go to the middle here and scale down. So if you don't go to the middle, so I'll show you here. If you don't go to the middle and scale, like roughly here, it won't scale it equally. If you go here to this point here, it's going to scale from that point, but we don't want that. We want to scale it evenly. If we scale it evenly, always go to around the middle, and then you can sort out the points later. Okay, now you've done that. Yeah, that's better. Maybe that's a bit too much. Too subtle. So let's get it back up. Let's scale it back up slightly. We could always play with that. However you want it, you can play with that. But again, coming back here, let's start with rotations. Again, -10, what was this, 10? Copy to the, and in the middle, -10. And make sure you just flatten and cycle. Okay, so we've got both arms working, and then I'll add the shoulder as well, which will be -5. So it will be 5, and then -5, and at the end we will put 5, and then we'll just key that. And then we'll cycle that in the graph editor, flatten cycle. Again, flatten cycle. So on the other screen, sorry guys. So we've got good timing happening there, right? Now what we want to do, you've got these hands here.